Good evening. I'll call this meeting of the Parks and Rec Commission to order. Our first order of business is approval of the minutes, and our last minutes are of a June meeting because we did not have a January meeting. So I'll entertain a motion for approval of those minutes.
I motion that we approve the minutes as written.
And I second.
And a second. Any discussion? Any questions? Any objection to unanimous consent? Not, the minutes are approved as read. Okay, we have the privilege tonight of introducing a new commission board member, and Kevin Smith has joined us. Our returning board members, Darlene and Gwen, are returning to continue.
Lived in North Liberty for about 20 years now at this point. I have two kids. They are 9 and 11, soon to be 10 and 12. Most of the time I've been in North Liberty, me and my wife owned and operated the Subway restaurants for a while, and recently we've made a career change, and we both work at Central Incorporated right here in North Liberty.
Cool.
So kind of wanted to, after being here for 20 years, wanted to do something to get involved in the community, and this seems like a great opportunity.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Welcome, Kevin. We appreciate your involvement. Okay. So now, next, as we look at the board listing, we've got, everybody has turned in their address and ID number you needed to Shelley, so she's good.
Coming around is the listing that I have as far as information for all the board members. So if you can, at some point in time, take a glance at it, make sure I have everything right, and then I can send this out to everybody once I have everything correct. So, and this does still have the listing as current positions as far as chair and vice chair. So we might get to that later this meeting, or we might wait till next meeting, whatever you guys want to do.
We might do that right away. Also, we want to thank Amy Chen for her serving on the board. She left us this term, so we appreciate all the time that she had given to the board. So I think it's probably due process to go ahead and reorganize at this time, since it's our first meeting with everyone. So I guess nominations are open for chairperson of the board commission.
I suppose the question first is, do the current chair and vice chair want to remain in their positions before we get too far down this path?
Vice chair is willing to stay in her position.
I'm willing. I don't care either way. So I'm willing.
I would nominate both of you for your positions. I think you've done a wonderful job.
Okay,
I would second that.
Shannon and I have been nominated, so got second to that. Any discussion, question, or disagreement? If not, is there any objection to unanimous consent for that order of business? Okay, thank you, thank you. Now we always need a secretary to complete our officers.
Nick, are you ready?
Nick has
are you
been
willing to
serving
keep
in that
doing it?
capacity, so I think somebody ask him that
I'll
question.
give the same enthusiasm you two just gave. I'm willing to keep doing it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Somebody make that nomination quick.
I will nominate Nick for secretary. He's done an amazing job.
I second that nomination.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Any other nominations to come before us? Not any objection to unanimous consent? Thank you, Nick. We do appreciate it.
We do appreciate it.
appreciate
Absolutely.
Thank you. We're all here to serve and to be interested in what's going on with our parks and recreation. So I think Tim is up tonight to give us the park report.
Yeah. So, good evening, everybody. Just kind of a busy month, I guess. It's a lot of regular building maintenance tasks, new standing seam roof on the community gardens pump shed that the high schoolers had built us. We had that done, and then we put some siding and stone veneer on it too. It's almost completion now. We had some irrigation system in our outdoor pool area that the electrical wiring got nicked, and so we had to make a temporary repair there for right now, just to make it operational again. Just maintained equipment as needed this month, just with regular use of mowers and things, breaking down just with use. Continue to do park trash and dog station receptacles, those pickups on a weekly basis. Had the fireworks debris, did a big cleanup on the Owen Skelly field after the July 3rd celebration there at the Penn Meadows Park. So it always leaves behind a lot of debris after all that stuff kind of goes off. Sports fields, just kind of a weekly maintenance. They're really not use of the fields right now, but it will be back in session here pretty shortly here for the fall. Let's see what else. Splash pad, just it'd be still popular, and it probably will be pretty popular until kind of school starts here. That's kind of tidied and cleaned.
Is it closed right now?
Is
or
it,
did-
yeah, I saw
It
that.
is closed right now. Yep. It's only going to be closed for about 2.5, 3 weeks. It's getting new rubber surfacing on it. So that,
will it
along with
open?
the 2 playgrounds, are also getting the rubber surfacing, kind of like what's out at Centennial. So,
So
yep.
will it open again before it closes for the season?
Yes, yep. We're kind of guessing it'll probably be September 1st, and it'll all be back open. And then, yeah, like the splash pad, we'll keep it open as long as we can, as long as weather holds. So it's not like it'll close down at Labor Day, time frame kind of thing. So,
And I think I understood from maybe last time that was a plan, a long-term plan, and had to cooperate with the contractor in a time for that to be done. That's why it was closed.
Same contractor that's doing this at Penn Meadows is also doing the new playground at Fox Run Pond. So they wanted to kind of, while they were here in town, just kind of get both projects done at the same time.
Tim, can you reiterate where that playground's going to go? I had somebody ask me, and I drove over there
At Fox Run.
at Fox Run.
So it would be the northwest kind of corner of the park there. So Scales Bend, and you can see obviously the pond from
Right,
the
and I
road.
can see where you're
It'd
doing
be
the-
kind of way back
Okay.
in the corner there. Yep,
Okay.
you'll see the trail that goes all the way around. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of back, kind of tucked back in the corner back.
But it's on the other, it's not where the old playground is, correct? It's where it's not where the Fox Run playground is. It's on
No.
the other side over where like Pheasant is and.
Yes.
On that
yep,
side. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Mowing and trimming, it continues. Kind of hasn't really slowed down at all for us. It's been just a really consistent growing season. Landscaping, same way. There's always weeds growing and watering and things. So those keeps a lot of our staff and crew kind of busy. A lot of our seasonal workers help a lot with that stuff. So spent a lot of time with Blues and Barbecue preparation and tear down after the fact. And then, of course, our staff, we park cars during the event. So we were kind of there most of the day, or all day, I guess, Saturday. And then we were there part of the day on Pig and Pint night, too. What else I got?
Tim, the cars were parked like perfectly. Like when you see that
Oh.
aerial photo,
Oh,
did you
yeah.
guys have that spray painted out or just that?
We mow
good?
lines
Okay.
through the grass. We just mow a shorter spot where we want cars
you want
to
them to go.
stop.
It was really, honestly,
It
well
makes it
done.
easy for us, kind of directing people in, and then it keeps them straight, and you can fit more, I guess, cars
Yeah.
in. Is kind of our thinking behind it, I guess.
Yeah, it
So,
worked.
Yeah, yeah. Worked out here at outside City Hall here. They got just new sod out front here in the kind of the plaza area. So we kind of had to go in and regrade the whole area. We actually added 15 truckloads of compost too. Then we tilled it in and just to incorporate that in, just kind of help retain moisture and things, just helps grass grow better. So that's all finally sodded now. And now we're just watering it and keeping it alive until it reestablishes there in that location. So we removed an old playground at Penn Meadows. It was kind of the smaller little one. It was 27 years old. It's kind of served its purpose. It was actually the first playground guy when he started here ever put in, and he was here for North Liberty. So it was kind
you guys
of
salute?
odd
Do
for him
anything?
to see that it go now that he was the first one or one that put it in, I guess. So
Tim, is that still kind of the average lifespan of a playground, 25 years?
yeah, yep, that's kind of the average. Yep. And we have future plans, I guess, for kind of that area. We actually saved the swing set structure. We're actually going to repurpose it. We'll repaint it, and then we're going to put it somewhere else again, so there'll still be a swing set area. And then Fox Run Park, which we just kind of talked about, they're moving right along. You've probably seen a lot of the trail and stuff that's already paved. And then, of course, the playground. August 20th is the actual date they're going to start the playground install out there. And then Guy just attended quite a few Shive Hattery meetings with the Fox Run Park, and then also the kickoff to Centennial Park events project, I guess. So other than that, I guess all the photos that are in there, it's kind of
All the pictures.
about it.
I think, again, the pump shed community garden, that was a high school project.
Yep,
And I
yep,
think Liberty High.
yep,
for
Liberty
that.
High, yep, built that,
Neat project.
yeah.
I asked, are a lot of dead trees having to be taken down in the town, or how is that going?
Not so many lately. We do have a couple that we still need to take down yet. One is down on the kind of what we call the main bike trail between Zeller and the trailer court area. There's one it's been dead now a year, and we're fearful it might fall on somebody's house if it were to fall the wrong way. So. But yeah, other than that, it's in the last couple years, it had been some ash trees and stuff that we've had to take down. But yeah, not so much anymore, I guess, or at least this summer.
And I think, we still got some planting to go on for trees this fall?
Yep, we have, I believe it's sometime the end of September, we're going to be getting another 10 or 12 trees. So the nursery that we get our trees from wanted to wait until closer to fall just for better transplant.
Have you
purposes.
designated where those are going yet?
Penn Meadows is where they're going to go to replace where some ash
Sure.
trees that we had to cut down. Yep.
Tim, our neighborhood wanted me to check in on the roundabout on Fairview Lane. Is that a possibility for this fall, or hard to tell?
Yep. Yeah, I think it would be.
Okay.
Yeah. Guy and I just had talked about it because he kind of was going through things and he's like, oh yeah, we need to do this yet. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
I think it's still in the works for, this fall. here.
Okay, thank
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Hey, Tim, what plans are in the works for that old playground at Penn Meadows that you took down?
There's actually going to be if it gets approved, a full court basketball court, like concrete with two big regular,
Cool.
I don't know, like you would see in a gym, basketball hoops and stuff. So, yep, that's kind of where that's going to go.
Lighting or no?
No lighting.
Where is-
not at the moment anyway.
Where is that going?
Where the old playground was that we took down.
Oh, I thought you were asking where the equipment was going.
Oh, no, I was just curious, yeah, what
Okay.
happened with
Okay.
the
Just
space.
with that space. Yep. Yeah.
Will it be concrete?
Yep.
Didn't know
Yeah,
if
concrete.
everything was sport court anymore, if they do
Yeah,
old school.
the plan is, I guess, to do all concrete,
Okay.
but obviously you could always add on that sport court tiling and stuff to it too. But yeah, just concrete at first.
That's something that's kind of been wanted in the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Outdoor basketball court.
Especially with
I
all the
think it's good.
basketball.
And I have over at Quail Creek, the court that's there.
yep.
Has that ever been resurfaced or anything over the years?
It has. I don't.
I know it's kind of in bad
it has.
shape. you know.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and that one's asphalt
Yeah.
there, and it is. It's starting to get kind of wavy and some cracks and stuff through that one.
Hey, Tim, I would like to ask about the playground, the slide in Centennial Park. So a few weeks ago, there was a crack at the bottom of a slide, and then but I really appreciate that since people are starting to post about it on Facebook, and staff already put a tape around the structure. So that's very
Yep,
quick.
yep.
I just wonder, like, when will it be? Do you have an estimate?
It got replaced this morning.
Oh, okay. When,
Wow.
Yep, we had found out from somebody in the public that it was broke because we didn't know it was broke. And so we had a guy that lives here in town. He went out and put caution tape on it. And then when we got parts ordered right away.
yeah.
And that playground is new enough that it was under warranty. So they just shipped us one right away.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we got it in yesterday. The slide came in, and then 3 guys went
Thank you
out and
so
put it
much.
up
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
awesome.
You
this
know
morning.
the tape just
So,
doesn't work. Some
yep,
kids,
it's-
just put
it's
them
all
them
back,
apart.
ready to go.
Cool. Thank you.
And that's good.
Yep.
And that's one thing to tell the public, that if you do notice something around
Yeah.
at our parks,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that our staff is pretty vigilant, but they might be something that they
Yeah.
don't see right away,
Yep.
to contact you can find this
Yeah, just
city
even
number.
posting it on
Yeah.
the North Liberty Facebook page. You know, Nick and Jillian and our communications department, they see that stuff and they'll relay stuff to us or an email or whatever. Yep.
Because we have a busy staff. We know July didn't slow down taking care of the landscaping and everything. And had a lot of positive comments about how nice the roundabouts and the
Good.
park looks. And after Blues and Barbecue, a lot of some people who had never been to Centennial Park before, you know, are commenting how beautiful it is out in that area. So we appreciate that.
Tim, after the baseball, softball season wrapped up, did the new changes that I think, Brian, you put into effect just with how they would get quick dry and all that stuff, did that have a positive impact on the condition of the fields? Noticeable or no? Yes, no, I
Yeah,
guess.
not really noticeable, I guess. Yeah. From
So
our-
it's a
I guess
terrible,
from
terrible
our
idea is what you're saying.
This is when you're supposed to go, yes, it was fantastic.
Anything
Another
else
thing-
for Tim?
Tim, can you kind of tell them what you did at the shelter that's by the rec center? I don't know if we've ever talked about how you kind of
Oh.
enclosed it and
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a shelter roof with open walls. It had some cinder block columns, I guess, that held the structure. And it was always just kind of a bike stop, essentially, because it was right there on the bike trail. That was another high school project. We had them build walls in between the cinder block walls, and it always had a restroom in it, so it's got a restroom in it again. And then, so now Mark, with the rec center, it's kind of his workshop space. So that's what, it's all sited and
Yep.
everything, and has heat.
heated and has
Yep.
lights and
Has
a
light-
garage
new-
door that was
new
put
lights
on. And
overhead garage door in it.
Not a spa or a hot tub. or anything
Yeah,
out there.
no,
I've heard
no.
all kinds
It's
of
just
things.
all of his tools.
It's a
and his
workshop.
workbench and that
nice.
type of stuff in
because
there.
right now he has pretty
Doing
much,
custodial.
yeah,
Yep.
right now he has pretty much a
Repairs.
closet that has a washer and dryer in it, and all of his stuff is in there. So this will help kind of give him a little more breathing room in there, and then kind of take some of the bigger stuff out.
And it's all season too, right? We said last time maybe it's heated and
Yeah,
AC,
yeah,
maybe not AC,
yeah.
but
It's not AC,
usable
yeah.
all year.
Not
yeah.
AC, but
Yeah,
it's,
not AC,
Yep.
but yeah.
yeah, but they can leave the door open and do whatever.
Yeah, and it's
out
got
there, so.
windows that
Yep.
open and stuff too.
Yeah.
Because normally they would
Another
do
thing-
like the sawing and cutting boards and stuff out in the back parking lot,
Yeah.
out the back door. So this definitely is definitely improvement. And they would have to do those types of projects on nice days. And so now they have an indoor shop basically to do those types of projects
awesome.
to work on stuff.
And they had to do some of that stuff in the room and would have to cover the,
To say you'd have to put your system on test.
yes, because otherwise the noise of the fire alarms going off. So yeah, they would
Safety
cover
and
that.
everything,
So
and-
this helps a lot.
And Herky guards it out there, so.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
in good shape, good shape.
So Tim, another thing about Centennial Park. So I remember after the Blues and Barbecue event, there was a huge dumpster like left there close to the sidewalk. Like maybe left for like 1 week-ish, and then when you walk by, it smells really bad. So I wonder, like in the future, would it be possible to move it as soon as possible?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they were supposed to come move it right away, but LRS just didn't get there. Or they kind of forgot about it, I think. And so, yeah, it took a couple. I know Jillian had to contact them to just remind them that, hey, your dumpster's still here. You
Yeah.
need to come pick it up.
Yeah, and their house is like very close
Yeah,
to it.
uh-huh, their
People,
houses
lots of
are
people
right
walk
there.
around.
Yeah.
When
I'm
I
sure
back
that's on
there,
next year's
hold my
list.
breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Anything else for Tim? No? Thank you, Tim. That guy's gone, and Tim did a good job. If you're watching, Guy, you did a good job. I'm sure he is. Yeah.
Sure is.
Okay, now we'll move right along to the rec center report from Shelley.
Well, good evening. I don't know about you guys, but I think the summer has just flown by. I can't
Agreed.
believe already that we're pretty much coming to a close for our summer stuff. Pool operations finally got resolved. I don't know if you saw in the June report that I shared, even though we didn't have a meeting, we did have a pump go down on a pump casing. And then when we reopened from that, we also had an underwater light shatter. And so we had to drain the pool again and make sure all the glass and stuff was out. So it's been a rough, I'd say, month and a half, but hopefully everything is back resolved. We did have also a problem with the Innovent unit and humidity. If you happen to stop by and wondered why all the windows were so wet and I don't know what you call it, foamed up or whatever, but it was because of that unit being down. That had a couple different items, crankcase heaters, and also the disconnect on that unit had to be replaced. So a lot of just maintenance things that unforeseen, but definitely cause a big problem when we're trying to operate during our busy summer season. Let's see, what else? Basically, report-wise, everything's still going strong. You can see our aqua programs continued during the last couple of months, very strong with attendance. Arthritis aqua class still becomes popular, and then we have an aqua Zumba class that really fills up as well. So those classes continue. We had the Swim with the Mermaid event, and Ashley states about 150 plus participants attended that program.
That's crazy.
We did have the swim lessons that took place. Again, we had to do some juggling of moving some from when the indoor pool was down, we had to move them to the outdoor pool. During the morning classes, they were held outside, so that didn't affect that. But there was definitely some juggling of programming and maybe interfering with other things that normally we would have scheduled on the indoor pool, either refunded or got moved to the outdoor pool if at all possible. So definitely some juggling took place.
Shelley,
Yes.
sorry, I just noticed, like, for aqua programs, is that a negative $645, or is that just a dash?
No, that is a negative.
Okay.
Basically, because of the indoor pool being down,
And
we
the
had a lot of
refunds.
refunds of classes and programs.
Okay.
During that is why you see that negative number.
That
Okay.
leads into a question I had too. Just curious, like significant financial impact with that pool being down, or something that can be offset through other
Again,
sources, I guess?
it's nice having both an indoor and an outdoor pool, so that does help. But again, when it comes to, a lot of that negative was basically the aqua classes that had to be canceled. So, let's see here. Swim lessons. You can see the number of participants in each level. Of course, the younger ages are most popular, and then gradually decreases as the levels and their skill level improves, that we have less. But 649 participants is kind of our total that we had for our swim lessons. Let's see, tennis lessons took place. I don't know if you want to mention anything about tennis lessons, Brian,
No,
at all?
it went really well. We had good numbers. So, we just have the 2 courts now, so we only allow so many to sign up, but the numbers are good. Numbers are pretty consistent every year. So, and the girls' high school tennis coach is the one that teaches it. So
Oh, nice.
we work a 70-30 split with them to do that program. So
Nice.
A couple other sports there. Our Pee Wee program, Jonathan, that runs that program now, has done a great job. Those are always popular. He's created some camps there, as you can see. Baseball camp, football camp, and you see the number of people within each Pee Wee program. And again, that continues by looking at fall registration, continues to be popular, and we'll figure out how we can accommodate the demand there.
And the hardest part when we get into fall and winter is just gym space. We run out of gym space with, all the programs that I'm currently running with the leagues, and then, the programs he's trying to start up and go, and it just kind of, it's tough. It's tough not to have it all at the rec center. We put some stuff off sites, but that's kind of hard too, because, those are just one gym, and it's hard. It's just tough to do everything we want to do. So.
And then we want open play as
gym,
well
yeah.
for members. So it is definitely a constant battle of trying to accommodate all the demands and then provide equal participation.
Is there a
throughout.
balance you go for when you consider that the open gym versus programmed for?
We try to have one gym open unless it's our programs that are running. So if there's something in the other gym being rented, we try to have Jones Gym open, which is the closest one to the front desk. It doesn't always happen. If we have more and more programs and our numbers get more and more, then the gym space isn't open, and then people that are buying memberships are upset because there's not a gym open. So it's a juggling, and then pickleball is so high too. It's just a juggling act with just the 2 gyms that we have at the rec center. So that's something I think we definitely need more of. So, and having the offsites is great, but it's not all in one building or one area, so that gets to be tough. And then you have to send staff to those places as well. So. And going back to like the aquatic programs, and you asked about financial, we do extend the passes too when we do close. So, that does hurt us a little bit financially because they would have re-upped, but we do extend those.
Sure.
However long we're closed, we suspend it, and then we put in the date, and it adds all the days back onto it. So.
Continuing down the list, during the summer and during this month, summer camp and rec ramblers programs continued. You can see the participation numbers there between week 4 through 7. So numbers continue to be good for that program as well. Let's see. Under classes programs, on once a month we're doing a Binspire Messy Play Date. For this particular July date, we had 9 participants. We do have another one coming up actually this Saturday. It's just a contract program event that we've started that kind of stemmed from our playground crawl, is where it was first being held when we first started that program. And now we've just kind of done it on a monthly basis during the summer to try and get that activity that showed some interest and demand by the community to keep those going on a monthly basis. So,
Shelley, it sounds fun. What is the messy play date exactly?
Basically, when it's nice out, we usually have it on the east side of the facility, and a lot of water activity tables, sensory type things. If it gets moved inside, because we did do, I think, one back in early spring, and if the weather's not nice, then they move it inside, and it's more of a sensory type
neat.
activity. I don't know how else to explain it.
What's the age range?
I would have to look at it again in the brochure. I'm not sure exactly what age.
Kids like, so any of the sensory play that the parents don't want the kids to mess up at home, they do it.
They can do it there. Oh, it sounds
can go
really
really
fun. Oh, that's
Between
great.
mud, water, snow, if it's snowing out.
Paint.
Just
Like
a lot of
Oh, that's-
different
And they will
mixture,
wipe
paints.
for you.
We need that for adults.
I'll let her know. Tippy Toes dance classes continue to be popular. We had about 45 dancers in our programs. That is also a contract program. You can see there for senior connection lunches, we served 145 meals for the month, averaging about 36 per date.
Is that higher than normal?
No, that's about average.
Is that average? Okay.
Zach, one of our staff members, did a first-time euchre tournament. We had 9 teams of 2, and so that was pretty popular, and they enjoyed that. So I can see that coming in the future, having a couple more euchre tournaments being offered. As far as the pool information there, you see the numbers as far as revenues taken in by season passes, daily pool, pool rentals, and concessions. I don't know if you have any questions on those. Followed by the weight and exercise area and the track. Just gives you an idea of what we're bringing in as far as use of that area. Usually during the summer, everybody goes outside, but as you can see, we still have definitely some active memberships and point of sale stuff going on throughout the facility. After that, we have just the rental summary in totals, and then the revenues for the month as well. The rest of the report is kind of normal. I have a list there of some upcoming events. Tuesday was the National Night Out with the police department at Penn Meadows Park. We have a swimming story time scheduled for tomorrow morning, but depending on the temperature, we'll see if that goes or not. That might
because of
get
cold
moved
weather or
inside
not?
or something. And coming up a week from Saturday is the street dance. Actually, one thing noted there, I just found out today, Friday, August 16th is the Colonels, North Beach Community Night at the Colonels game. And I should know either tomorrow or on Monday of how many possibly tickets we have that are free to make available to the public. So I will hopefully know more either tomorrow
That'll
or
probably
on
be
Monday.
publicized on Facebook or out on the
Yes.
internet
Yep.
and
Yep. Communications department, I'll work with them like normal and say, hey, at this time, we're going to start. And community
tickets at
members
the
can
rec
come by
center
and
picked up.
Yep.
Are they generally, you have to physically come pick them up?
Yeah.
You couldn't, okay.
Yep.
Makes sense. That could get crazy.
So hopefully we'll do that. Rest of my report is just normal monthly revenue, dashboard summaries, membership summaries. So I am open for any questions.
I got a couple more updates. We're working on the duck socks that are in the indoor pool. They're being held up by rope that the custodians created to hold them up in the air because all of the little pieces that are originally holding them up all have just kind of disintegrated. The hooks will still stay on the wire, but the rest of the thing just slowly falls down on the ground. I don't know how many of those we had actually fall. They aren't going to hurt you or anything. It just falls. It's just full of air, so it just falls like a balloon. So we are working on getting those replaced. Also, we're working on the acoustical panels that are in there that also are falling from the ceiling and falling down. So we're working on those two things to kind of change that area. But right now, yeah, like the duck socks are being held up by rope. So it looks kind of,
Rope and hope.
yeah. Yep. Also, next week, the gym floors are going to be refinished at the rec center. So Wednesday at 2:00 is kind of what they said the guy would start, and then it would be closed Thursday, and we're planning on reopening on Friday by 6:00.
Both gyms?
Both gyms, yep. Yep.
I think they're doing a great, I have to juggle realizing 20-year-old facilities need upkeep, and we want a lot of new things in the community, and we are juggling that and taking care of both, I think, pretty, as well as can be done. We have a lot of new things coming up, and the maintenance has to keep other things so that they are
And we have put
enjoyable.
new carpet at each of the entrances. That was a grant that was through the library, so each entrance got new carpeting when you walk in. We did that. We put a handicap door on the north side, which wasn't there before. So there's a handicap button, and door now opens on the north side of the rec center where you come in. So
There's-
Are we getting close to the 30th anniversary of the rec center? When did it open? 97?
March of 97.
Not too far from it.
yeah.
Going to have a
We're only 3
celebration,
years- Yeah.
community celebration / fundraiser for new gym. Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Third gym.
I mean, I think it's a really good point, though. Obviously, when the rec center was built, the town was much more small than it is right now. So is there a discussion about that for our growth of our community?
Bigger.
Right at this time, I don't think it's a high priority. I think there's always discussion on it. I think the biggest thing now, with this new facility, the next thing that I'm aware of is the second fire station. So how far out? Who
And the next
knows?
stage out at Centennial.
Yeah, Centennial Park.
A lot of things are
So
progressing.
yeah, I don't know a timeline. I know every time we get a chance, we kind of throw that out as far as definitely at
Yeah.
least maintaining what we have, and then, okay, what do we need to do to
Right.
continue to grow?
Well, that site it's pretty landlocked.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't
There's
go-
not much you
yeah.
could do in that.
And if you build onto it,
location.
you're going to have to take away parking. Well, if you're getting bigger, you're probably not going to want to.
Either have
Yeah.
to go up
Yeah.
or can't really go around, yeah.
So Gwen,
You almost have to, you
Find
almost
a
have to have a
lot for
second
I
location.
think-
Do a tunnel.
Maybe
Speaking of
not as
parking,
big.
is there still work going to be on a parking lot?
Yeah, we're still doing design phases for the redoing of the entire north, south, east, and west parking lots at the community center. So we'll start with the east and west, but I know they're working on design and
But nothing's imminent in being done right away. There's not gonna be They're going to be dirt turned?
the east and west side is phase 1, and that might start next spring, maybe. I know they're doing the design, then they'll have to go out for bid, and so I don't know
I think it's in the
exactly timing yet.
2025.
Yeah.
Just
And then we have to definitely work around. That's one thing, we have to do it in phases, because, to use the facility still and have some parking, and then how do you work in between the areas that are being reconstructed, so.
I don't know, if people, and Shelley sent out the June report because we didn't meet in July, talked about the database breakdown. I don't know,
Yeah.
people about
Yeah.
we talked about what communities are using the facility, are in your database.
Oh.
You put that in here, which I think was,
Well, I thought that was
Good to
interesting
know.
about the pickleball. Did you guys notice the numbers in the pickleball, that there were more in the pickleball camps? There was more younger people than there were older people. I thought that was kind of an interesting, there were a lot of young people who signed up for pickleball.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that impressed everybody else, but it kind of did me. I thought, wow, that's kind of cool. So anyway,
to note that
Well,
what,
still popular for many
yeah.
years to come.
over 14,000 of our residents are in the rec center database,
Database.
which is
Yeah.
good. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what
it's
it's for,
amazing.
it's for the community. And if you notice that that's over half, I think we're in the 20s for 20,000s for population now. But that's,
what were the numbers at the barbecue at the Blues Fest?
did we get a
I haven't heard.
You haven't heard?
I haven't heard what the final.
There's no way.
Tim, if you did or not. A lot.
Got a big crowd.
lot.
There's no recognition.
Yeah, well, they do have like the bands. I'm sure they knew how many bands they did or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't touched
Well,
base
that's
with Jillian or
drink.
communications to
That's
see
how much
exactly if they had a
beer
round
there.
number.
Yeah, but you could kind of get a feel for. I have to tell you, I was there and was talking to a couple of people. There was a couple of women that came up from Burlington to be there, and they just were like in awe of the community. They've come up to that, and they were all bummed out that next year it's not going to be there. And I said, but the year after it's going to be amazing. So, but I just think you just don't realize how
Oh, yeah.
it's such a wonderful event, and all the things in North Liberty that are done on a regular basis.
That's what we pride ourselves on. A lot of events, more and more creativity to offer things and things that are free for families. That's important to have. Family friendly, all age friendly, you know.
Any kickback on the raising the rates to?
I have not heard anything.
We've seen a bump in memberships with the daily rate increasing and the push to try to push people towards that membership.
Not as much as I thought.
Really?
We did, I think I would say, in the month of June, I saw a lot of the 1 month in June. But as far as the seasonal annual, no. But, you can see a little bit of an uptick, but I thought it was going to be more. I mean, you can still see in the report what we're bringing in on daily fees, and they're paying the $6 per time coming in, so.
Now, do the ambassadors to each neighborhood, do they know about the things at the rec center? I mean, are they tied to that, know what's going on?
I know about a year ago, I went to a few of those ambassador meetings
Yeah.
and would speak on behalf of the rec
What's
department
okay.
and what we have available. That has probably been about a year now, and I know they're revamping that program a little bit. But I think they are going to still have little sessions with the ambassadors within every city department and kind of give them an update of what's going on. So I anticipate that continuing.
Okay.
But they're always welcome to email me or call me or stop by my office if they have any questions regarding the recreation department.
And I also noticed that Coralville Rec Center also charged for $6 for the daily fee. And also know there are lots of Coralville residents actually have membership in Rec Center here. So yeah, so I think it's, pretty much the same level. Yeah. I actually want to ask about renting space, meeting rooms, like on the long term, and offer maybe a Chinese language learning program and be hopefully included in your winter program book. How does that work? Like logistically, like a timeline, and how does that work? Would it be possible to talk about that?
Like any contract program, I have kind of a little form that I have the instructor fill out. Then what I take that information, look at days and times that they're wanting to do it, see what I have available for space, and hopefully work it out where we have space, and then we just throw it into our activity guide or flyers around the facility and just start it and see what the response is.
So the program, so do you collect the tuition from the residents who sign up for a class, and you transfer that tuition to the instructor, or you pay the instructor like hourly? Like
The contract, there's two different ways. Contract employee wise, yes, we take in the revenue, and then at the end of each month, we do a 70% of the revenue taken in for that month goes to the instructor.
But they're an independent contractor,
Yes.
not a paid employee of the city of North Liberty.
Correct. They're not a payroll employee, they're a contract. So you can either go that route, or if you just want to rent the room and do an activity within a room, you can rent the room. But that's all our contract programs and internal programs come first before the rental opportunity.
I see. For example, how does the typical dance class, how is that model is like?
That's a contract program, and so we've worked with them to set up the days and times, and then we take in the revenue, and then at the end of each month, we do a 70-30 split of revenue.
I see. And what is the timeline like to be included in the winter program book?
The winter spring book covers January through April. And let's see, December is when we do registration. So by middle of October is when we're working on it and putting it all together.
Okay, so I'll pick up a form at the front desk.
Stop by my office and I can get that to you.
Okay.
But I think it's good for anybody in the community that maybe has something that they think would be an addition to the rec center. If they
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to do that, they could go through the same process,
right.
correct?
Yep.
If I wanted
Hobby-wise,
to teach dog walking.
sure.
We have to include dogs.
And how to clean up your dog poo, I could do that.
Yes, you can.
Various
Okay.
education.
Which
We
is a
didn't get
nice
through a
reminder.
meeting without
I had to mention the dogs. Planned in.
some way.
Love it.
But I do see a lot more green out at the dog park.
It is
Stop by there.
wonderful.
Looks
Yeah.
very green. Yeah.
I do have to
Good
say though,
season
I
for
do
it.
think we need to keep reminding people that they need to pick up. The reason we got to a bad place is not, that's not the only reason,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's a lot of conversations sometimes and people forget to, yeah, you know where they are.
That probably was a segue into the other concerns or anything there unless anybody had anything else for Shelley. We got any other concerns to bring before the group? Talk pretty much about the pools. Or anything else you want to say, Shelley?
The only thing I would like to mention is on there, starting August 23rd through September 1st, we will have our limited hours once school starts back up. So Friday, August 23rd will be closed, and then Saturday and Sunday, the 24th and 25th will be open. And then during the week, Monday through Friday, we'll close again, and then on Saturday and Sunday, back open, and then as of Monday, September 2nd, we're closed for the season. So those signs are posted and stuff, but again, with most of our staff being younger these days and back to school, that we do have to go to limited hours starting on the 23rd.
Thanks for that update. And we talked, I think the fall activity guide is out online and
Yep, that went out to the public in July, and actually registration started Monday. Basically did a quick little report for Monday, and we took in about $49,762 on that first day of fall registration. And a lot of that was swim lessons for, we do offer swim lessons year round, and about $16,000 of that was swim lessons, so. But yeah, going strong as far as registration and going on to the next cycle of programming.
I was one of them who set the alarm clock at 6 a.m. I previously heard about it and thinking that's crazy and didn't know. Now I'm one of them. Is it possible to change the time in the future, to move it to 7 or 8-ish? Or
Basically with our facility hours on that Monday, that's why we set it at that.
not on a Saturday? Something.
I was going to say, it's always been that Monday for residents and Wednesday. It's pretty, I think, concrete 3 times a year that people know on that certain Monday and Wednesday is when registration begins, so.
It's like Taylor Swift tickets.
Taylor Swift tickets, that's right.
You pretty much have 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
speaks to the popularity
Yeah.
of things. And I think we brought it up tonight. If people from the community, we have no community visitors tonight, but there's something that they'd like to see in the way of a class or the way of something at the rec center or in our parks, feel free to contact people at the staff or contact us to bring before the board or whatever. So we welcome community input. You hear a lot about these things that are going to happen that enrich all of our lives a little bit, but we're here to make decisions on behalf of you and make recommendations. So again, If anybody's watching out there with ideas, you're more than welcome to come to, we provide time at our meetings for you to speak. So anything else bring before us? Okay.
I just have one thing. I'm so up here at Penn Meadows. I kind of am around that area a lot, and there is a lot of close calls with the pedestrian walks from the park over. Do you know what I mean? There's just a lot of people. And I just wondered, I don't think this is the forum for that, but where is the forum to look at safety on these pedestrian walkways? Would it be city council? Is it? I'm just terrified somebody's going to get clipped.
You mean by like Heinz and that whole corner?
No, just
or?
this whole area. Like, I just think people don't realize that the roundabouts, you know, the pedestrians are using those roundabouts for their bikes, their kids. They've got, you know what I mean? And I'm probably overly zealous grandmother with two young children going to Grant. You know what I mean? I'm just.
For school starting.
It's like everybody just needs to take it down about 28 miles an hour, and it only takes one. And you know, we have these great parks and we have these great walkways, but everybody just needs to chill. You're not in that big of a hurry. And I don't know if this is. I know this isn't the forum, but I just think we just need to keep in there that pedestrian walkways are for pedestrians to get from one side of the street to the other side, and they need to slow down.
Yeah, with school starting, safety
Yeah.
is such a concern. And
Safety
in
is-
any forum that raises that in the community is good. And I think probably some traffic studies and some things like that within the city, approaching
Well, I
city
just think
councilmen.
I mean, if you really think about it, we're just all outside.
Yeah.
I mean, we're an outside community. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of cool, but also the downside of that is that we have to live with cars and, you know, these kids, it just drives me crazy when I see those little kids and they're coming up to the thing and I'm like, stop! So, anyway.
Appreciate that. Anything else? No old business to come before us. So our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, September 5th. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion we adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any objection to adjournment? Meeting adjourned.